everyone, welcome to my channel. I've got the fool looking through the back door and we're just going to do a little sneak around to find out exactly what the story is with the York sisters now that the fall of their parents, literally. I sort of like doing this because I did see a blind come through a couple of days ago and I thought that's interesting. If you believe the mainstream media, of course, you know, they're all good girls kind of thing, right? Now, yes, I know it's pretty horrendous, you know, what's been happening. A lot of things are coming out, you know, with the birthdays and everything, allegedly. But there was also another report that said that they're barely holding it together, and that they both have fled the UK. Well, I thought, okay, well, where do they go? So I keep scrolling, and it looks like Beatrice is, or was at the time of the announcement of Randy Andy and all his titles, she was in Saudi Arabia. And Eugenie was with her BFFs, allegedly. It looks like they're friends. In Paris. I'm thinking, for someone who is, barely holding it together, I think they're doing quite well. I would have thought that, you know, if it was some sort of tragedy that the mainstream media are trying to pass, that they would be together. They wouldn't be, different parts of the continent. So I'm thinking, there we go, 7 of Wands. I'm thinking that the blind might be, you know, having a little bit of truth behind it, allegedly. So, cards. The fallout of the House of York. What's the story with the, with the York sisters? Okay. All right. Well, there we go. Legacy. Inheritance, but it's a legacy, predominantly the legacy. It's all money driven, 100% money driven. This blind's looking very real. Okay, the 6 of Wands reverse, the 9 of Swords reverse, and the Ace of Wands. Absolutely, they're on a mission. They've been put on a mission. Absolutely, there's actually no time here to, you know, do any of the anxiety or anything like that. They've basically been put to work, technically, and away from the castle. And if you have a look at this with the Ace of Wands, you have the castle there, and it's away. So they are absolutely doing some things all for the, well, you could say brand, but this is more the inheritance and the legacy of the, the House of York. This one here in the middle, it's, I think you'll find that they have learnt that they're now not going to be invited to a lot of the royal family things. I don't know if to what point, and this is why I'm going to continue with the reading. At this stage, it looks like that they're under the impression, or they may have been advised, that they won't be attending a lot of royal things anymore, and you're not going to see them on the balcony. And, well, you haven't for a while anyway, but, you know, certain things are trooping. You know, maybe even Ascot. I know it's said differently, but we have an Ascot as well over here, and so forth. So let's just keep going. But whatever they're doing, they're standing on their high ground. So they're 100% protecting their parents, as I guess you would do. All right. They probably don't know any better. Yep, absolutely. They're going to come back fighting about all happy law families and everything like that. Absolutely. So there's no anxiety or anything that mainstream media would like you to think. No, they're not. No, they're on a mission here. Absolutely. They're on a mission going forward. They're planting things and trying to manifest things. You've got the King of Pentacles here as well. Now, that's interesting because, I mean, there's no way in a million years, you know, Harry even would have anything to do with that age group. However, maybe there's a King of Pentacles around that's going to help them, allegedly, but I will pull more cards to find out, because it is actually sitting on where they're not basically invited anymore, allegedly, to any royal gatherings. You've also got the Four of Cups reverse here, and that's sitting on the legacy card, the Ten of Pentacles. So that's basically where they don't care. However, they could offer, if something is being offered, they could take it. Sorry, my wording. If something is being offered, this way they will take it. It doesn't look like that that they're too fast, of what could be offered. They basically open to all offers, allegedly, and entertainment purposes only, and they're not being stubborn about it either. You've got to remember, and I will say allegedly, you've got to remember they are absolutely their mother's daughters as well. All right, so now you've got the Four of Swords here and the Queen of Cups. So now I wonder who the Queen of Cups could be. I'm just going to pull one more card. Eight of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. Now, if it was reversed, I could say it was Diana, right? But the Queen of Cups to me, would this have something to do with Camilla? Has Camilla put down her foot, literally, and said, they're dead and buried, literally? Like, they need to move on to greener pastures. They need to absolutely make a move. I wonder if Camilla's having a lot of say here, because this would insinuate this is her card with the Queen of Cups, especially when you've got the Eight of Wands here coming down at the anchor. That means that they're definitely pursuing with the Ace of Wands, but there's lots and lots of energy in their environment, lots and lots of things going on, lots of hands out reaching. A Page of Pentacles. Now, the daughters aren't Pentacles. Before I call it, I just want to, the Two of Pentacles, the Ace of the Ace of Chalices, the Hierophant, and the Star. And that's reverse. The Ace of Cups is reverse. The Two of Pentacles is reverse. And the Eight of Pentacles. I think they're going to, believe it or not, I believe this now is the man-child, and it's all about negative merging and just how emotional that things can be. I think why we're going with that is that they're learning not to do something when they're attached to the Hierophant. I think their lesson is learned, and I think the man-child has actually taught them now how not to do things, how not to go and merge your brand, because it's just not going to work. Absolutely, it's not going to work, especially when it's got something to do with the Hierophant. They've also learned here as well, this would be their father's card, on just how bad things can get if they start pushing boundaries. So this is all a lesson for the girls, for the sisters, and they need to stay on focus to make money. So they've got to look at a different way of doing things, remembering that the fall of Andy probably should have come many, many years ago, not just recently, but I constantly am reminded from a reading I did when I first opened this channel a couple of years ago that Andrew's files were locked away in the Royal Vault. Why? What needed to be locked away? If you go into Andrew Loney's book, you'll see and you'll learn that there's a lot to do with finances here. This is all money driven, 100% money driven. More so here, confirmation about the Eight of Pentacles. So it's all about wheeling and dealing and learning from the mistakes that the gingerhead one, their cousin, has made, and also to keep it away from the Hierophant, which is the men in grey suits, the institution, the royal family, literally the whole lot. Keep it away from that. Don't get caught like your father got caught, basically, allegedly, because we need to remember that it's just not Epstein things, right? Andy has been doing a lot of other things, okay, allegedly. There's a hangman here. There's the Queen of Pentacles. And you've got Judgment. And you've got the Eight of Swords. So lots of mind games are happening, absolutely. They're also here being the sacrificial lamb, basically being the hangman sacrifice. So they're actually going out. They'll probably be the new leaks. I do believe that Sarah had a lot to do with leaking. I think they will be the new leaks. I think the royal family is well and truly aware of what's happening. Well, the Hierophant is anyway, is well and truly aware of all the leaks, because this is your Four of Pentacles. Is also, letting go, like being, how can I say it? This is also like Fergie, not being able to hold on to their money. I think they're learning very, very hard lessons here, very hard lessons. And they do know that they're not going to have any second chances. And I do also believe, and this could be Princess Catherine, I think she's finding a voice, a very, very strong voice, especially with William now. Well, she is going to be Queen eventually, right? I think this is also Princess Catherine remembering just, the snide remarks, the comments, the pushing, close to the church, or going down the barging past, literally, the looks. It's all on video now. And I think Princess Catherine is well and truly aware of that situation. I mean, if we are, and it's all over social media, how the York sisters have looked at Catherine over the course of time, just very, very short, but it's there, especially on X. It's all there. I think they, well, let's just put it this way, they're not going to be playing the victims. I think they'll probably leave that to their parents. They're not going to be playing the victims. They have learnt from what not to do with the gingerhead one, and they are 100% out for the legacy to keep the House of York going 100%. They are standing on their high ground, literally. They are defending their parents, absolutely. And they are learning a different way to do it. And that would explain, I don't know with Eugenie, maybe she was just partying with the girls, but that would absolutely explain that Beatrice was on the plane out there straight to Saudi Arabia. Whatever it is, they are working together, absolutely. And they've got a plan. I wouldn't be trusting either of them. I know a lot of people are saying that Beatrice, maybe not Eugenie. Sure. But these guys are saying I wouldn't be trusting either of them. You do actually have two peas in a pod here, looking to wheel and deal. And they've learned from their parents' mistakes. So, all right, short and sweet, enough on the Yorks for 1 week. All right, I'll see you again real soon. Bye.